Trait Theories of Personality, Chapter 11.7. Welcome back, everyone. In this lecture, we'll explore trait theories of personality. Unlike psychodynamic, humanistic, or biological perspectives, trait theories focus on describing and categorizing personality by identifying consistent patterns in the way people think, feel, and behave. Instead of asking why we act a certain way, trait theorists ask, what traits do we display, and how can we measure them? Gordon Allport, the pioneer of trait theory. One of the earliest trait theorists, Gordon Allport, 1936, examined language to identify 4,500 words that describe personality. He grouped traits into three categories: cardinal traits, rare, but dominate a person's entire life, e.g., Scrooge's greed, Mother Teresa's altruism; central traits, the building blocks of personality, such as kindness, loyalty, or shyness; secondary traits, more situational and less consistent, like preferences and attitudes. For example, someone might usually be calm but get very nervous before public speaking. Allport emphasized that traits are unique combinations, meaning no two people are exactly alike. Raymond Cattell, narrowing the field. Allport's 4,500 traits were too many, so Raymond Cattell, 1946-1957, reduced the list to 171, then further distilled it to 16 personality factors through statistical methods. He developed the 16PF questionnaire, still used today. These factors include warmth, reasoning, emotional stability, dominance, liveliness, conscientiousness, sensitivity, vigilance, and more. Importantly, Cattell stressed that traits are not just present or absent, but exist on a continuum. For example, low warmth, cold, detached; high warmth, supportive, friendly. Hans and Sibyl Eysenck, Temperament and Biology. Next, Hans and Sibyl Eysenck proposed that personality is rooted in biology and temperament. They identified two main dimensions: extroversion versus introversion, whether someone is outgoing and sociable or reserved and solitary; neuroticism versus stability, whether someone is anxious and emotionally reactive or calm and resilient. Later, they added a third dimension: psychoticism versus superego control, linked to aggressiveness and hostility versus compassion and self-control. The Big Five model, five-factor model. The most widely accepted trait model today is the Big Five, also called the five-factor model, FFM. It simplifies personality into 5 dimensions: openness to experience, imaginative, curious, and open-minded versus conventional and practical; conscientiousness, organized, dependable, and goal-oriented versus careless and disorganized; extroversion, outgoing, energetic, and social versus reserved and introverted; agreeableness, compassionate, cooperative, and trusting versus suspicious and antagonistic; neuroticism, anxious, moody, and emotionally unstable versus calm, secure, and resilient. These traits exist on a spectrum. For example, someone high in agreeableness may be very trusting and helpful, while someone low in agreeableness may be more competitive or skeptical. Why trait theories matter. Trait theories provide practical tools for assessment, e.g., Big Five tests, 16PF, consistency and prediction in behavior across situations; cross-cultural insights, since the Big Five appear in many different cultures. However, critics argue that trait theories describe personality, but don't fully explain why traits develop. Conclusion. To summarize, Allport introduced cardinal, central, and secondary traits. Cattell identified 16 personality factors. Eysenck emphasized temperament and biological bases with extroversion and neuroticism. The Big Five remains the dominant modern framework for understanding personality traits. Trait theories give us a structured way to understand individual differences, and they remain a cornerstone of personality psychology.